Hello, my creative friends. I'm going to make a fun little sign for a bridal shower using some teacups, and I just thought I would bring you guys along. So I have this little kit that I got from, actually I got it from Hobby Lobby, and it was in the wood pile. If you can see that, it's called Half Arch Cast Acrylic Sign. It's a 6x8, 2 pieces. So you get this acrylic sign, and it did have a like a film on it to protect it from being scratched. I took the front side off. I haven't taken the back side off yet. So it'll look really cloudy when you get it. And this is actually in a plastic bag as well. So super inexpensive. Can you see? It's only $2.49. And it came with a wooden base. It was this color. The wooden base was this color. Now, of course, I had to upcycle it, modify it for the colors that I'm going to be using for this particular project. And I just did a base layer of a really pretty like lavender or lilac, I don't know which color you want to call it, purple. And then I added 2 different ones of my acrylic glitter paint. One it has blue and some purple sparkles in it, and the other one had green, because the colors those are the colors that I'm trying to work with. So of course I had to add my own little touch to it. So that's all ready to go. I did that last night. It's all dry. And so now we're ready to put our design on this. Now, when you are working with acrylics, and if you have a transfer stencil, I used to be a chalk couture designer, so I have multiple stencils, and I use them still, even though I'm not a designer anymore. I use them for projects as I need them. I actually bought these specifically for this project and then a future project that I have in mind. So I have not used them yet. They're brand new, but they are self-adhesive, and they're very, very sticky the first time you use them. So since this is my first time, I am going to fuzz it. And that basically just means that it's going to make it so it's not quite as sticky. I'm going to get some, just some fuzz back on it. And also, whenever you're using acrylic, acrylic, glass, porcelain, metal, those really, really grab a hold of the transfer stencils as well, very strongly. So I make sure I fuzz them, because if not, when you go to pull it back off, it'll make it curl a little bit because it's resisted it. And you might even run the risk of stretching your silkscreen design. So I definitely don't want to do that. So I am going to fuzz it several times, because I just don't want it to, I want to get a good, I want to get a good design to come through. As you can see, my craft desk is a hot mess, because I have had, honestly, I've had about 7 or 8 or 9 projects going at the same time. So this is actually pretty clear right now, because I'm down to the last couple projects. So this is actually pretty clear. But as you can see, I'm just adding, it's just basically putting lint on it. So anything that has lint on it, you could even put it on your clothing if you have clothing that would have lint on it. So that's all I'm doing with these. And then once I have that done a little bit where I want it, I am going to place this design. I was debating whether I was going to do it on this side and maybe write something over here, or whether I would put it in the middle. But I think I'm gonna kind of lean towards this side, because I'm going to put a 4th cup on the top. I'm probably going to have it like kind of sitting askew a little bit, but I'm going to put a 4th cup on the side. So I want to make sure that I have enough room to do that on this arch. And then I'll have to decide what I'm going to fill that in with. I haven't 100% decided. I think I know what I want to do, but that's going to be determined. Today, we're just going to work on, right now, this video, I'm just going to show you the chalking piece, and then I'll share a picture as to the final result. So as you can see right through that. That does help. And I'm not super, concerned about if it's 100% straight. If that bothers you, then please, by all means, go for it. This one edge should be completely straight, because I didn't cut it. This side I cut, and I did not cut very well, because I did it late. I was tired. So this side is straight. So if you're looking to line it up, like I said, you can pull it off a couple times and just kind of play with it until you get it like you want. As you can see, it's grabbing it pretty well, but I think I fuzzed it just the right amount. So I'm an eyeballer, you guys. So we're just gonna play with it a little bit, try to get it where we want it, and then once we have it, we're gonna smooth it out. Make sure there's no bubbles or bumps. Now, I will tell you, I am a little concerned, just because sometimes when I'm in a hurry, which is all the time right now, it seems like, I'm tired. I'm ready for a breather. So, and I have still a lot to accomplish in a couple days, so I'm moving kind of quickly. This concerns me a little bit, because I'm thinking, oh, I'm gonna go over it. Can I clean that off? Absolutely, I can clean that off. But if you happen to have a piece of painter's tape, that you want to kind of put over here. This one's really the only one I'm worried about right here, this particular guy. Then put your piece of painter's tape there, and it might cause, you know, just, it might work as a visual reminder, or it may work as an actual barrier if you get a little too overzealous. You know, that's possible. So the colors I have chosen, all of them are shimmer except for one. This is the only one that is not a shimmer. And now when I picked this out last night, I was like, no, I'm not going to use the shimmer. But now as I'm getting myself prepared to do it, I'm really questioning whether or not I should. So I'm probably going to switch that out. But this one is called Eucalyptus. I do have a shimmer Eucalyptus. These are just chalk paste. What that is wet chalk. And I actually think I am going to go ahead and use, if I can grab it. Oh, where did I put it? Right here. I think I'm going to go ahead and use the shimmer Eucalyptus because all the other colors I chose are shimmer, and that's just my style. I am a shimmer gal, and I just feel like for this purpose, it's actually for a bridal shower, so I feel like it's okay to have a little bit of bling. Now, the colors I've chosen are a greenish, you know, that greenish blue, a purple, an icy blue, and then a darker blue. Now, this isn't exactly the blue that I want, so I'm going to put it on, and if I feel like it's a little, I think it's still going to work because these are just colors that are kind of being incorporated into the bridal shower and into the wedding. So I think all of these are going to work. But if I feel like this is way too dark and I need to lighten it up a little bit, I may do that with, I might even use a little bit of the icy blue one. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We're going to just go with it. So I think what I had decided was this. I know this particular mug, teacup, whatever you want to call it, I want to do in the icy blue. So I'm going to try to put these in order so that I don't have to think about it too much. I think I'm going to put the navy at the bottom just to kind of, because I'm thinking, you know, this is how it's going to go on there. That'll pull it, and it's the darker color. So I feel like it, does this make sense? It anchors it. It's going to anchor it. And then I think from there, I'm going to go with the green, and then I'm going to do the purple, and then I'm going to do the icy blue. So I think no, I'm sorry. I'm going to do the icy blue and then the purple because I'm going to put a little mug up here. I already told you guys I was going to do that. So I may have to wait until I get this one done, pull it off before I put the little one on because I want to place it closer like it was sitting on top of it. Okay, does that make sense? I hope it does. All right, so let me put this aside for right now since I'm not going to use that one yet. And I am working with shimmer, so hopefully that means that I won't have to paste and peel. It takes a few more minutes to dry, and hopefully I can get through these without doing that. So let me just put these in reverse order. I hope everyone is doing well. Welcome to my craft room. I haven't been in here sharing it with you guys. I have been in here a lot. I just have not been sharing it with you guys in a while. And I hope that you can see okay that the lighting is all right. It is nighttime when I'm filming this, so sometimes that can really make it a little bit more difficult to see. And I know that as you can see, this is one of my favorite colors anyway. My little thing underneath here is definitely, let me see if I can put something under it to make it a little easier for you guys. It's definitely the same color, almost the same color as my transfer. So I could do this. It might make it a little easier. Is that better? That's probably better, isn't it? Okay, sometimes I have a good idea, you guys. All right, let me flip that around so that the part I'm working on you guys can see better. There we go. After all, that's what this is for. It's for instruction. Anyway, I love it when you guys join me in the craft room. I hope that whatever I'm sharing with you is going to inspire you. I am just using one of my multi-purpose tools. It's got a little squeegee on here, so it gives me a little bit more control over the area that I'm working with. It's not really large, and I really love it. I'm probably just going to wipe it off and reuse it for the next mug as well. But really, this is super easy. Guys, kids can even do this kind of stuff. If you have access to chalk paste and a stencil. The transfer stencils are best just because they're self-adhesive so they don't move around. As you can see, I don't need a second hand to hold on to things, and I don't have to tape it down or worry about it moving around and it, sorry, the paste getting under it or paint getting under it if you were using a traditional stencil. But I love them. They still are one of my favorite things to use when I'm trying to get an image. So I definitely refer to them, and they're so versatile. I can use it with ink. I can use it with etching cream. I could have etched this actually if I wanted to. I'm pretty sure you can etch acrylic. I could be wrong. But anyway, I am noticing, I think it's supposed to be that way. I'm noticing some distressing on the blue in the cup, but I think it looks like it's built into the transfer stencil, which is also cool with the silk screen because they can put different types of characteristics in the design that you wouldn't be able to get in other ways. So unless you were freehanding or something. Okay, so I just wiped that off so I can reuse it. And like I said, I don't think I'm going to need to paste and peel, but just to show you kind of what that looks like. The reason you would do that is because chalk paste does dry fairly quickly. The shimmer takes about 7 or 8 minutes. The regular flat kind like this matte, it's only about 5 minutes or less. If you have a ceiling fan on, or if it's really, really dry or warm in your wherever you're doing your project, it will dry even faster. And if it dries too fast, it'll just dry in your silk screen instead of releasing to the surface. So what you do is you do what you apply your chalk paste like I just did, and then you peel back your design just where you've already applied it, just like that. Do you see how that is? And like I said, all of that is built-in distressing. I didn't miss anything. I'm looking at the silk screen and I can see that is built in. So now I've pulled that back and I'm just going to let it lay right back down. And now I know that my color has released to the design has released to the surface. So we're going to move on to the next one. And this is Shimmer Eucalyptus. And you guys, I sprayed into the eucalyptus because I hadn't used it in so long. I can tell by the sheen of it that it's not quite, it is not quite wet enough. So your chalk paste should really be the consistency of like, I like to say yogurt or frosting, like a whipped frosting, or even, let's see, there's something else I usually say, and now I can't think of it. And I could just tell that had been too dry. Your chalk paste will last quite a long time, but if you haven't used it in a while, it can tend to dry out like that. And if it does, you need to add some distilled water. Even if it was chalk paint or your regular acrylic paint or any kind of product that you're using that is like a paint, that is going to be kept in a jar, you want to use distilled water. That's what I have in here, is distilled water, because if you use tap water, you know, our tap water, it's kind of scary to think about it, but our tap water has all kinds of impurities in it, and it will grow mold. And then you'll have to throw the whole jar away because it's nasty. It smells gross and it looks gross, and you know, who wants to be messing with mold, right? So I'm just adding a little bit of that water to it until I feel like it's at the right consistency. And the reason, again, why that's important, now with the shimmers, it's got something gritty in it, whatever they put in it to make it shimmer. I'm assuming it's some type of glitter. Maybe it's a mica powder. I don't know. But it's already going to feel gritty, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But the paste itself needs to be a certain consistency to get through the silk screen because it's pretty small. So if it's too thick, a lot of times it won't go through the way you want it to. So that's the only reason I'm doing this. And really, if you have a lot of chalk paste, which I can't even tell you how many jars I have over there, and many of them I have not used in a while, you really should about once a month add a little bit of water to it and stir it, or at least open it up and stir it and see if it looks like it's doing okay, so that you don't waste an entire jar, because these will last a long time. I've had some that have lasted 2 years because I use them often. I just don't use them. I don't just stick with one color. I am always using lots of different colors. So that's why I get so much use out of them, is because I like to switch my colors up a lot. All right, that feels better to me now. So let's go for it. Just grab some of my squeegee and we're going to just apply it. And the reason I'm sharing this with you is because, like I said, it's so many ideas you can use for this stuff. I'm using it for this for a bridal shower, to customize for a bridal shower. It's kind of like, the theme is kind of Alice in Wonderland meets Bridgeton. If you're familiar with those, I mean, most people I think would be, but that is kind of the feel I'm going for. So it's like a more sophisticated, I guess. Alice, see, that's why I did that, because I just feel so self-conscious about going over to the side there, especially where I'm just kind of like scraping my chalk paste off my applicator. So that was what the feel and the look I've been going for all my projects. But I can also use this like on paper. I can make a card. I can make ephemera. I can, you know, put it on a scrapbook page. I can do so many things with this. I can make a sticker. I can do all kinds of stuff with these. So I'm not getting rid of any of them I have. I couldn't begin to tell you again how many. I don't know how many jars I have of paste or ink, because I was a designer for almost 4 years. Obviously, I have acquired a lot, and or how many designs I have, and I don't even have them all. Okay, do you see how that is? So now we have our green and we have our blue. I think that's going to be okay. I'm going to pull that back too. Okay. See how fun that is? All right, and then I'm gonna lay back down. I did get some over here. Luckily, I can just wipe it off like that. You saw how I got that. I think I'm gonna pull this off now because it's impeding me from putting this back down. There we go. I wanna try to lay it back down where it was just so it doesn't try to pick up anything else. Okay, so now here, you just wanna always make sure you've got it still sealed, and we're gonna move on to the next color, which is this ice blue. Okay, and I'm gonna wipe off my squeegee again. I'm just using a baby wipe for this. I always have baby wipes, and I mean, I usually have wet paper towels too, but I always have baby wipes in the room, in the craft room, because they are just so versatile. I can use them to, you know, faux stain something with some paint. I use them for cleaning my fingers, for my squeegees, for just, you know, a multitude of things. Okay, I'm gonna dry that off a little bit. All right, let's go ahead and grab that one. Isn't that a gorgeous blue? It's called Glacier. Isn't that perfect? It's so pretty. So it's going to be very, very light, but there's a reason for that one. So that's why I'm using it. I have one that's a little bit darker blue, but it's still a pretty light blue. It's called Duchess. So it's kind of reminiscent of, you know, if you think of Disney princesses, it's kind of reminiscent of that one very popular Disney princess that we think of when we think of a blue, pretty blue color, but, or at least I think of, who I think of. But this one, I wanted it to be more icy. Okay. And the bride-to-be will know why. Okay. So that's done. And now I can pull this off all the way. And I'm getting a little resistance, but not too much. So I know I did a good job with, I'm drawing a blank. I did a good job with fuzzing it. Okay, so now what I like to do, I'm going to lift this up so you can see it. Can you see? You can see all the colors, and you might even be able to see a little bit of shimmer and sparkle, right? So I'm going to set this over to the side for a second, and what I'm going to do is really quickly just wet this with this is regular tap water in this little dispenser. Okay, I'm going to just wet it until I can take it to the sink and wash it, because it'll just make it so much easier for me to wash if I do that. Okay, now I'm going to take this back over here, and I'm going to pull out my handy dandy air dryer. Not my hair dryer, not a blow dryer, but an air dryer. So this just has like warm air. It's not hot. And I'm just going to, that might even already be dry. Oh, look, there's some left over from other projects I was doing. Little beading that is rolling around. So this might actually already be dry, but I'm just going to make sure that everything is dry. Okay? Because I don't want to smudge anything. Once it's dry, it's hard to the touch. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm shaking you guys. Once it's dry, it's hard to the touch. Now I can still, the cool thing about acrylic is this is a reusable surface at this point. I can clean this off at any time later on by just wetting it and scraping it off and wiping it down. But if I wanted to make it permanent, I could spray seal it or put something on it, but then that would make it cloudy. But I really don't have to. I mean, this could be permanent just without sealing it ever. Because it'll dry hard to the touch, it's not going to come off easily. I can even dust this and wipe it down and stuff. I mean, you're not going to want to wipe it with a really, really wet rag, but you could, you know, take a cloth or something that had a little bit of maybe window cleaner on it or glass cleaner on it and go over it lightly. You just don't want to spend a lot of time on the sections that you've already cured, because you'll reconstitute the chalk and it will, then it can, I'll put it that way, it can. All right, so what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to try to take this. I couldn't do it first. I was going to say I probably should have done it first. I'm going to take it and make it a little bit off center, okay? And I'm going to try to be careful not to pull up the top of that other teacup. So I really didn't press down hard where that was. And now I'm using an even smaller squeegee. You see that one? Because I'm getting such a small area. Oops, let me hold on to this. It's trying to slide. Trying to slip slide. I love making handmade things as gifts, or like for this, I've never done something on this scale. I've never put together this many items for a particular event. You know, I've made a lot of things over the years, but I've never done this many for one particular theme. So I have just used a variety of mediums. I mean, this is the first time I've used any kind of chalk product. Oh, I can't even pick it up. I have no fingernails right now, you guys. This is the first time I've used any kind of chalk product for any projects that I'm working on with all the things I've created. But look at that. Isn't that cute? Okay, again, I'm going to put this over here. I'm going to spray it a little bit with some water. And when I get done, I'm going to go and clean them right away in the sink, and then they'll be ready. They'll air dry, and then I'll put them back on this. This is called a backer sheet. I'll put it right back on there, and it'll be ready to go. Oh, I know what I might add over here. I don't know. I'm just so undecided what I want to put over there. Okay, let me hit that with the air dryer real quick. Because I was thinking I have another transfer stencil that I could either add some, I have this cute little guy. I could even add him on there. Or I could just add the flowers. Or I could add something. See, this is the hard part. It's like there's so many good options. It's sometimes difficult to choose. Oh, where is it? I'm trying to find this other thing I have. I have another design that says you and me, or you heart me. I could put that on there, but I don't think I'd like that on there. But the bunny might be cute. You know, I have quite a few bunnies that I've created, projects that have bunnies with it, because of course, Alice in Wonderland, we have a nod to the bunny. Now, obviously, this is a nod to the Mad Hatter Tea Party, but I did not want to use the Mad Hatter at all. We're using tea stuff, but a lot of tea themed things, but I'm not using anything that's Mad Hatter because that's a little bit too quirky. It's not quite sophisticated enough for what I'm trying to do. All right, so I think this is probably, and now we're going to put this kind of like it's kind of tilting a little bit too. And we're going to do this one in that. I love this purple. Isn't that gorgeous? It's called Shimmer Orchid. I've never had an orchid this color, but I would not be opposed to it. This is a nod to, we're going to have a little tiny bit of lavender so in the wedding. So I know that's why this is a nod to the lavender. It's just an accent color. It's not a main color in the whole theme, but it's awesome to be able to have so many different things in your arsenal when you are creating stuff. You know, so you can have some versatility and some uniqueness. I can guarantee you there is not any other designs anywhere that are like mine that I have created. I have gotten inspiration from other people's creations, but everything is very unique. I did not copy anything exactly. I thought I was going to. And then as I started, I kind of just developed my own. I don't know about you, but when I'm creating, I'll start with an idea. And I definitely do my research. You know, I had to do a lot of research to locate a lot of the items I was using. I was trying to thrift as many as possible. Use things I had in my own stash. Then, you know, you look at all kinds of other places, you know, Hobby Lobby, Michael's, the Dollar Tree, Amazon, wherever, you know, you need to get things from, lots of other places. So there we go. How cute. It's a hodgepodge. So I put a lot of time in that, and then researching various places, Facebook, YouTube, Pinterest. Look at that, guys. Isn't that fabulous? Do you love that? I hope you guys love that. I am going to dry it real quick before we put it in the thing, because I've got to figure out what else I want to put on the side. Yeah, so it's just fun to be able to mix lots of different things to create. But once I start with a general idea, and then it kind of evolves from there. As you're creating, a lot of times you'll think of something else. Oh, I could do this. Oh, I could do that. So I can't tell you how many times that has happened throughout the process. So I do have part of one of the invitations I could put over here. I just cannot decide 100% sure what I should put on there. But let me just show you how it looks. Hang on a second. I'm going to try to keep it this way because I'll probably, oh, you guys, the one thing I forgot. Oh, I should have known better. Now, I could take all this off and do it again, but I don't think I'm going to. But look, you guys, the one thing I forgot, well, first of all, I got stuff in there. It's not going in. The one thing I forgot, I don't think it's going to go in here until I pull this backer off, is I should have moved this up a little bit, because this little part of the teacup, see, you can learn from my mistakes, is going to go down in, oh, I've got something in there. That's why. In here, and it might be, you might not be able to see all of it. Dang, I did not think about that. And usually I did, but I'm out of practice. So, and I could have gone up a little higher with that, but I am not going to start over. I'm just going to roll with it, and nobody but me is probably going to be that aware of it. So it's fine. So that's my project idea. If you can imagine it, I've got to get something. I don't know. Do I have anything over here I can use that's small enough? Oh, that might work to get this. I got glitter stuck in here from that glitter paint, the acrylic glitter paint. It's messing up my, I don't know if it's going to let me put it in there with, I don't know if it's going to let me put it in there with that little frosting on the back, but I don't want to take that off until I'm all done, because I've got my hands all over it and I don't want to have to clean both sides. But that would slide right in there, you guys. That's going to slide right in there. And it's going to look so cute. But I definitely need to put something else over on this side. So I'm going to go brainstorm on that. I hope you like this idea. I hope it inspired you. I hope maybe something I said or something I did inspired you or encouraged you to try something new or think outside the box. Thanks for joining me here in the craft room. And until I see you next time, I hope, as always, you'll be safe, you'll be healthy, you'll be blessed, and you'll be so inspired. Thanks, guys. Tune in for more. Hey, my friends, I finished up and I got it in here. I had to almost like sand the inside of this little groove because of my glitter, but I got it finished. I wanted to see what you guys thought. So I did add this cute little bunny design, and I only used part of it so that it wouldn't run over into where the teacups were. So I used this guy, and I just kind of masked that part, and I just did all the same colors I used over here. I did add that little bit of sparkle, a little bit of bling up there at the top, just because I felt like it needed something. And so that way it coordinated with the bunny, and the I used all the different colors in the flowers. So I think it turned out pretty cute, and I hope that they'll like it. I think I'm just going to tuck it in somewhere in the decorations. But anyway, I hope that you like this idea and that it inspired you. Please let me know in comments if it did. All right. Make sure you follow me for more DIY inspiration. Thanks, guys. Bye.